Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make a video showing the Dalula Company dyes Chocolate Cherries and Spiced Violet. I'm going to start out with a Chocolate Cherry shirt, and I'm going to do the same tie for both of these shirts, which is going to be just a random sinew line shirt. So to do that, I'm going to gather up an area where I'd like to start a sinew line. And then, so that I don't have quite as many lines, I'm going to fold a little bit of the fabric in on itself. Like I said, I want these to be random lines, so you can put as many or as few lines on your shirt as you want to. I'm going to test out these dyes using them alone so that I can really see the color splits and how the dyes operate. I think this is one of the designs that shows color splits really well. So I have 6 of the Dalula Company dyes, and I'm going to do 2 different colors per video. I also like to add the dye over the top of the ice if I really want to see the color splits. So that's what I'm going to do for these shirts. I've taken a colander, which I actually purchased off of the TikTok shop, and it's expandable. So I've placed it over the top of a plastic tote. And I'm going to put the shirt down inside of the colander and a layer of ice over the top. Unless absolutely necessary, I usually don't add a second layer of ice to the top of shirts where I apply the dye over the top of the ice. So I'm going to try to put quite a bit of ice on top of this shirt to begin with. Then I'm going to randomly sprinkle the chocolate cherries from Dalula Company over the top. And I want to put enough dye that it goes through to the back side of the shirt and the whole entire shirt gets well saturated. But there's a fine line in there. If you add too much dye, then you don't get the cool color splits quite as much. And if you add too little dye, then it doesn't necessarily make it all the way through the shirt. So if you happen to maybe not add enough dye the first time, you can flip the shirt over, add more ice, and add more dye to the top. So you actually can add more dye to the back side of a shirt where you apply the dye over the top of the ice. I usually just try to add enough and hit that sweet spot in there where it's enough to get the color splits, but not too much to just kind of make it a solid color. Now I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of dry soda ash over the top of the dye and then place this container aside and allow the ice to melt. I've included a few process photos of the ice melting and how the shirt looked right before I rinsed it out. After the ice melted, I took this colander and placed it down inside of a long tote that had a metal rack in the bottom. Then I put the lid on the tote and placed this shirt outside in the heat so that it could get nice and warm to process. Okay, so let's do the Spiced Violet shirt. This shirt is a tank top which I purchased from Walmart. It's a Time and True brand, and it has this little adjustable area on the front where you can pull on these strings and make this one section a little bit shorter. I went ahead and pulled on the strings to have as much string hanging down as possible. I didn't know how well the strings would dye in that little sheath or the piece of fabric. So I kind of shortened it so I had a lot of the string hanging out. I'm going to tie this tank top the same way that I tied the t-shirt. I'm also going to use the same exact setup that I did for the t-shirt to apply the dye to this one. If you missed my Dalula Company color swatch video, I am making some shirts to show the colors from Dalula Company dyes. Dalula Company is a newer dye company, and the owner is Amanda, and this dye company is located in California. She has a website, which I will leave a link to the website down below in the description for this video. She contacted me and asked if I would like to try out some of her dyes that she develops for ice dyeing. And I said I would love to. So she sent me 6 of her dyes, and I'm making shirts with those 6 dyes. And like I said earlier, I'm just using a single color per shirt. Once the ice melted on this shirt, I went ahead and took this shirt out of the colander and placed it on a rack down inside of the same tub that the other shirt is in. I allowed both shirts to process for about 24 hours after the ice melted, and then I rinsed them the same way. I rinsed them starting in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I warmed the water up to hot to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I untied them, and then I soaked them. I placed some really hot water in my utility sink, added a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent, and placed the shirts in the same water and allowed them to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out, and I continued that soaking process until my water was remaining almost clear. Because I was using the Blue Dawn dish detergent in the water, that's going to keep the dye from the chocolate cherries from depositing onto the spiced violet, and the spiced violet from depositing onto the chocolate cherries. So after my water was remaining almost clear, I put the shirts along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent into my washing machine, and I washed them using a hot water cycle. Okay, so I've washed, dried, and ironed the shirts, and let's see what these colors look like. Okay, so here's the chocolate cherries, and I think this color is really pretty. I've included a photo of the shirt along with the color swatch so you can kind of see, if the color swatch is accurate. And I think it's pretty good, but it just doesn't show all the cool color splits in this color. It's just not large enough. So one of the things that I really like about Amanda's website is in the description for each color, she kind of tells you some of the splits that are going to be in there. And on her website, under Chocolate Cherries, she said that this dye blend has a variety of colors, including gray, some blues, different greens, maroon, purples, chocolate, orange, and hues of yellow and some pinks. So obviously I didn't see all of those colors when I just did the swatch, but a lot of these colors are showing up on this shirt. I've included some close-ups so that you could see it, and I think this is a beautiful color. Lots of cool color splits. And I kind of like those darker, moodier colors, and red's my favorite color, so this one is a winner for me. Okay, so let's look at the spiced violet. And I think this is a really cool color too. I looked out on her website, and her website says that spiced violet offers many different shades of violets, purples, some burgundy tones, different pink tones, and you guessed it, orange tones. And that's pretty much what the shirt looks like. So I think the color splits in this one are really cool too. I like that kind of burgundy-ish tone mixed with the pink. And when you mix that pink with orange and the burgundy, it kind of has, some coral flares in there too. It's just really pretty. I like this color too. But what do you guys think? Do you like these dyes and the dye colors? Do you think they're pretty? Do you have a favorite between these two? I think you probably know which one's my favorite. I kind of mentioned it in the beginning, but I would love it if you drop me some comments down below and let me know. And like I said, if you're interested in these dyes, I have Amanda's website linked down below in the description for this video. You can also find her out on TikTok at Dalula Co. And keep an eye out for the next 2 videos showing 2 more dye colors. So if you've enjoyed this one, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it, and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.